Welcome to The Fight with Teddy Atlas, presented by Dynamic Striking. I'm Ken Rideout, joined as always by the voice of all combat sports, the legend Teddy Atlas. We're here today in Lower Manhattan at the Trinity Boxing Club to do a fight plan for the upcoming Devin Haney, Regis Prograis fight. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at MyBookie. Check them out at mybookie.ag and use the promo code ATLAS for a 50% credit on your first deposit up to $1,000. Gamble responsibly. Teddy, what do we need to look for in this fight? I'm dying to see this.
Well, you know that song, Ken, great Rolling Stones song. You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might get what you need.
Yes.
And I also showed why I'm in boxing, not in the music industry. There was a lot of fights that the public, the most important people in this business, wanted. They wanted in the lightweights, the great lightweight division. There were great fights there. You know, they were hoping to get Haney and Tank and Teofimo and any assortment of those lightweights. They didn't get them. So now Prograis has been, well, he's been waiting for a fight that could be the signature fight. He's been looking for it to take him to that next level. And Haney is moving up out of the lightweights to give that fight. Now, it might be the fight that Prograis needs to get to that next level, that fight for the big payday, that fight to take him to another level. We don't know if it's the fight Haney needs, but we're going to find out. We're going to go and find out right now. And is it the fight that we need? We'll find out. Let's go there. Do what we have to do with the fight plan. And then we'll know whether or not you get what you want. Let's go.
All right, Teddy. Regis Prograis, Devin Haney. Full disclosure, I love Regis Prograis. You know, I'm good friends. Yep, nicest guy. What does Regis have to do? What can he do to beat Devin Haney, if anything?
Well, he's the bigger guy, the naturally bigger guy, so he's probably going to want to get close to him so some of that physicality can show itself a little bit. That's going to be, it always is, especially with good boxers. That could be the problem, getting close to the guy, because you got to go through a bad neighborhood sometimes, as I always say, and used to say on ESPN regularly when I was going to fights, where you could get mugged on the way getting there. And I think that's the way that Haney's going to approach it, you know, as the prototypical boxer on the outside, where he's going to look to pick him apart a little bit. Although Haney did make a little adjustment, a little change in the last fight with Lomachenko. He bent his knees more, he sat down more, he was looking to deliver with more power, to sit more. But I think he'll go back, you know, he'll be set on the ground, but I think he'll go back to what he does best, pot shotting, being a surgeon. And Prograis will be forced to be the bigger guy to get close and to work his way in. And I think that's where Haney, if he's prepared the right way, and I'm sure he has with his father, where he'll look to pot shot him a little bit. So let's give a little bit of an example to the people exactly what I think Haney will do, and to combat what Prograis will try to do, which is be aggressive at some point, get close to him. Prograis is a southpaw. He gets loose with his hands. He drops the right hand a little bit. Stay right there. And he gets a little bit loose with his hands. And what he does, he moves his head really well. He does a good job. Go ahead, move it. See, and that's why he's moving it. So punches will miss, obviously. The problem is that he'll move his head from too far away, where really the right way, when you move your head, you should be close enough to draw a punch. So when you make a miss, follow. You're right there to hit the guy. So he doesn't continue to throw at you and have an opportunity to pot shot at you, you know, and just keep the punch. If you're moving from too far away, what you're really doing is you're asking for more punches to come, because there's no threat of getting hit. When there's a threat of getting hit, you got to be a little more conservative with your flow of punches, because something's going to come back. So Prograis, he's going to move his head. And I think Haney, again, if they've done their homework, they picked up on that the way I have. And he'll see that, oh, he's not close enough to do anything. He's just showing me what the hell he does. And I'm going to take advantage of that. I see him moving his head from too far away. What I'm going to do is I give him a little feint, make him move his head, pop, pop, pot shot, and then keep the range as he tries to come. Well, take your time. You know, a little old action right now. As he tries to come in, keep him behind you. So again, pop. No, you got to be moving your head. You got to be moving your head. If you're coming straight, you're really making my day easy. So if you're moving your head, that's what Prograis is known for, and he does a good job of doing it. So he's moving his head, pop, 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 pop. And then every once in a while, a little feint, make a little pop, pop. And just keep, and stay off the ropes, of course. Pot shot him. Let him move from too far away. Pick your spots. And keep him, well, basically, you're going to keep him a day late and $1 short. You never want to be $1 short. I know that. Look at the way, who would think of that hand? You know, really, it would be for the haircut and everything else and the grooming and everything. You can't be $1 short.
I don't have any other marketable skills. I don't have any room for error.
You won real. Look at those sneakers. My goodness. Don't move your head from too far away.
All right, Teddy, we talked about what Haney can do regarding timing the head movement of Prograis. What else can he do to take advantage of Prograis?
Every once in a while, Prograis, where I think in this fight, the key is I think he's going to wind up having or wanting to be the aggressor. And because sometimes he does move his head from a little too far away, as we just illustrated, there's times where he's got to close that gap. And I noticed that he can reach a little bit, bottom line, where he gets a little top heavy. He's a little bit, he's not bad technically, but he puts himself in that little bit of a situation where now all of a sudden he's trying to make up ground quickly and he's reaching a little bit. And that's right up the alley for Haney, because Haney likes to counterpunch. He, as I said earlier, he's the prototypical boxer. I mean, he understands the sweet science. So I think that Haney will have a chance. His key punch is always a jab. He does everything off the jab, which is, by the textbook, the right way to do it, where he can use the jab and then change his range, step out, set a trap, and hopefully get Prograis, again, a little too far away to begin with, now trying to make up the distance too quick, reaching a little bit, getting a little top heavy, and then against the southpaw, right hands work. I always would say, they're the southpaw killer. And the thing that he likes to counter with, Haney, is the right hand, and he has a damn good right uppercut. So get into that southpaw position, right? So right there, and Haney uses the jab again. He might be moving his head from too far away. Prograis, who is you're Mr. Prograis, and then all of a sudden, the jab, bang, and a step back, he'll try to get in, maybe a little over anxious, maybe, as I said, a little top heavy, where this should not get ahead of those. Because if this gets ahead of those, well, if you're vulnerable, you're out of position. So again, you want the jab, the little stuff, bang, right uppercut, or bang, step back, bang, right hand, southpaw killer. Create a little gap, create a trap, set the trap, get the guy. If he does that, well, he'll be able to add another belt to his collection, a bigger belt against a bigger man. Because it's not about just size and strength. It's about who's the more clever guy. Like you, you're pretty clever. I'm gonna keep an eye on you.
All right, Teddy, we talked about what Devin Haney's going to look to do to exploit Prograis. What can Prograis do to get the jump on Devin Haney?
Well, as I laid out before, he's probably going to be in a situation where he's going to have to be the guy bringing the heat. He's going to have to be the guy pressing the fight for the most part. And I think that once he gets in, obviously, he's going to move his head. Once he does get close, then you have to do, well, you got to make hay while the sun's shining, because you see a lot of guys where they're fighting a guy, and the only way they're going to beat him is on the inside. They get inside, what happens? They get smothered, they let him tie him up. They don't make hay while the sun's shining. So I saw a way he could make hay. I don't know if they picked up on it, but if they did, they can really take advantage of what I saw as a flaw with Haney when you get close. When you get close to him, he'll move his head, which is good. But when he bends, he'll lean forward. So you could force him into that position. I would force him into that position to bend forward, and it's usually on his right side. And then I would have some form. So, that's right, orthodox. Prograis, stay right there. Prograis is southpaw. I'll be Prograis. So Prograis is going to have to, he's going to have to get in, work his way in. Okay, he gets in. Now he's in close. Now's the time to make hay, to do something. And when you throw at top, he'll bend and he'll lean forward a little bit. And he'll do it mostly on his right side. So he may bend this way and then wind up over here. So what I'll do is I'll use a throwaway punch. I'll use this, bang, just to get him to bend. Bang. So I'll throw, bang, bang. I know that uppercut is going to work. So I work on it in the gym. Again, bang. I get myself low because I want power. I don't want to expose myself. I want to be defensively responsible too, not just offensively. I threw this, I got him here, with the uppercut. If he's prepared to do that, and he finds that, well, he may make Haney a little taller than he already is. That uppercut might just send him to the, kind of like the honeymooners. To the moon, Kenneth, to the moon.
All right, Teddy, what else can Prograis do aside from look to catch Haney with the uppercut when he's bending? What else can Regis do to get an advantage on Devin Haney?
You can do the same thing that Loma did to really make it a tight fight. Some people even thought Loma won. I did. I thought Haney pulled it out very, very tight, very close. But Loma had a lot of success, especially late, doing one thing. With his quick feet, and Prograis has quick feet too. With his quick feet, not quick hands. The feet are important. With his quick feet, because what good is quick hands if you're not close enough to be able to put your hands on the guy? Loma was able to step with Haney as he went back. He's predictable that way. One of his greatest ways of defending himself, there's always three lines of defense. You move your head, you block, or you use your legs. He likes to use his legs where he'll change range. He wants to keep you a little bit, on the outside where he can do what he does. He's an accurate puncher. He's a terrific counter puncher. So, but he is predictable. He does go straight back. So what you do is, again, Loma did it. He showed kind of a blueprint to where if you go back and you have quick enough feet, I think Prograis does, if you go back with him, you can catch him on the way out because he doesn't get off the line. He's on that straight line. And he could do this, he can catch him with the same punch that Loma was catching him. The left hand from the southpaw position, because like Loma, he's the southpaw. And that's the power punch. So what I think that Prograis has to be ready for is for him to go back. And when he sees that he's going to go back, time him. As he goes back, go back, bang, go right with him. So just be prepared. Again, knowledge is powerful if you use it. So you saw the tape, you see that Loma was successful. He goes back, whap, go back with him and catch him with that power punch for the southpaw, the left hand. And if you do that, well, you can win the biggest fight of your career, and by far. And
well, for our friends at MyBookie, the line on this fight, Devin Haney minus 450 plus 310 on Prograis. That's a lot of wood to lay on Haney. I don't know. I think, what do you think here?
The line, the straight up line is
minus 450 on Haney, plus 310 on Regis.
Well, look, I make Haney the favorite.
Yep.
I make Haney the favorite to win the fight because of some of the deficiencies I talked about. Prograis is the bigger guy, but I don't know if he's going to be able to use that size because he does have that little bit of a flaw in his technique where he's moving his head from too far away. And Haney's going to look to live on the outside and just pick him apart, be a surgeon. But I think that's a little steep. Haney, his chin hasn't, it's not bad at all, but it's not granite. He's been shaking a little bit. Prograis, again, naturally bigger guy. So all for that, and Prograis, obviously a champion. He's got the confidence. He's got the experience. I draw a little, a small little, kind of like as small as the tips you give people. Along those lines. No, I'm only kidding. He's not that. But not a huge one, but with a chance to get that kind of comeback, yeah, it's worth taking a little. I just don't want to lay that kind of wood on that kind of fight. What's the under?
Over under 10.5 rounds. Big favorite on the over. I think minus 575 on the over, plus 350 on the under. 10.5.
Yeah, I mean, it figures to be an over fight, obviously. Yeah. They know what they're doing.
That seems crazy expensive. Crazy expensive.
Yeah. Look, if you got the money like you do, you can, just don't fill up one of your Ferraris that weekend. You know what I mean? Take that money and put that, on the over. I do like the over, but again,
they're making you pay for these picks. I mean, those are really expensive lines.
You're right. But again, if you're going by what I just laid out there, Prograis' one chance is to, put a little dent in that chin that, again, hasn't been granted. It's not bad. He's got plenty of heart, but it's been shown that you can dent it. He's been shaken a few times in his career. So why not, again, a small play to see if you can get all that green back with what they're trying to get you, they're trying to force you, in that direction by making it so, enriching that if you do go that way. So I might throw a little something that saying, hey, Prograis' his best shot, and maybe he knows his best shot. He probably ain't going to get a decision.
That's right.
And he's probably not going to outbox a guy who's really a tremendous boxer. Maybe I take a little play on that. That is what you said. Be reasonable with you. Don't, because that one, you're taking a real flyer.
Yeah. Well, check it out at mybookie.ag if you're going to bet on the fight. Always gamble responsibly, but go to mybookie.ag. Use the promo code ATLAS for a 50% credit on your first deposit, and we'll be back on Tuesday with a full breakdown of the fight.